Y'all know it's before asking my for life, but I know what you got state. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss uploads. And make sure y'all hitting that like button. Now, at the end of the day, a lot of people got issues with King and Lana moving out of the country, leaving his son in the U.S. And a lot of people are going to give their perspectives on the matter. One thing I'm going to say as a father, there's no way in hell I can move from my children, especially if I know that don't really see them as often because you separated and, she has her own life and you have your own life and your new family, or she has a new family. But why would you ever want to be away from your children? And even if you have other children, you should never, if you genuinely care and want to make sure you impact your child's life, you don't want to separate from them in any way. Now, there could be some discrepancies, there could be some issues, could be some bitterness, could be people gatekeeping the kids, it could be all types of shit going on. But it's just not fair to that child for you to separate. But let's look right at this message that a close friend of King's wrote. All right, let's see.
Underneath that video on Instagram. Again, you guys check out that full video on YouTube so you can see exactly what he's responding to. But it states, plot twist. What if Kaiser was not allowed to go to Disney just because the dates involved would have him missing the first and second day of school coming back from winter break? What if Kaiser was sick when plans were being made? What if Kaiser's mother is not cooperating with the plans trying to be made?
That's true. And people act like, individuals are showing every aspect of their life on the internet. It's for entertainment purposes. They're not going to everything that's going on in the background. A lot of people gonna side with Neek because they're fans of hers, but you don't genuinely know what's going on. A lot of women end up bitter in situations, just like a man can end up bitter in a situation. It can be vice versa. It can be a lot of shit going on that people are not siding. He obviously moved on with his life. He has a new family, so it can be a lot of things that's prohibiting the advancement of him being a co-parent in this situation. I'm not saying that's 100% accurate, but it can be a lot of issues when people don't get along with people, new spouses or whoever. It just can really take away what's the primary point of everything, and that's the child, at the end of the day.
What if there is toxic behavior on the other side, spinning a narrative? These are my friends in real life. You guys do not know all the facts. Why does no one report on the fact Kaiser doesn't even live with Neek? No one asks where Kaiser is when he's not in her videos.
That's true. That is nuts. I never really hear nobody say that when they don't see Kaiser around in Neek videos. Nobody says nothing. And if you genuinely are not a biased person, you'll give a perspective on just truth alone. But to be honest with you, I feel like I ain't moving no damn where. I ain't finna move away from my children like that. That is just diabolical to me. There's no way you can really slice that, because that's way too damn out of the country for you to really be a significant factor and have an impact on his life. That's just not going to work. I think that is just crazy. He has to do something about that. That ain't working for me neither. I mean, to move out of the country, there's a lot of things. Okay, you can have problems. You can be having disagreements. There can be a whole bunch of shit going on. But moving out of the country is just a little bit too far, if you ask me.
Lives with her mom. Why? There's so much in the background. I know King in real life, this narrative is not right, and the situation is way more normal than it should be. This type of stuff happens to dads all the time. This is what I'm saying. I actually know them and have been around for it all. It's not as cut and dry as you think. I would never say anything I know and tell what I've seen, but man, I wish I could. It's not the way it's being played played out. I don't know if you have kids, especially a child with someone you're no longer with, but it can get messy.
It can.
Please know this. The only fact here is you're speculating and spinning a narrative that hurts people. Kaiser does not feel or think his father abandoned him. Kaiser doesn't feel unloved by his father, but he does have a cell phone. Seeing stuff like this can be confusing to a kid. What if everyone and everything is fine and there is a healthy plan in place for everyone and it just doesn't sit well with other people? Imagine you being upset at what another family decides to do with their lives to be healthy and happy. I'm sending this with love. King is a good person and a loving father. He's a young man still fighting to figure out a difficult situation, all while the world watches and judges. That's a hard spot for anyone. So you guys leave your opinions on that down in the comments.
Like I said before, ain't nobody gonna genuinely come out and speak 100% on their situation because it's gonna be too much back and forth, and they don't really owe anyone to speak on their co-parent situation. But for it to be one-sided and a certain narrative being pushed, it can cause a lot of friction. And it is true when you move on in your life and you have a new family, etc., people will not cooperate. It is going to be a lot of bitterness. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of, rebellious type, way of moving and, gatekeeping going on. It's a lot of shit that can happen in the situation, but I'm just not into the whole other country idea because that is just too dang far away from a child that you have to parent in a whole nother country. That is just, to me, I can't fathom that. That's just something I can't wrap my head around. I do understand I'm trying to, live, in a way that he can, be prosperous and all this with Lana, but I think that move is just a little bit too much. But let me know what you guys think about the comments about this. Would you move out of the country? Would you, go so far away from your child just because you're in a co-parenting situation, or would you do your best to figure out something that works and that can be beneficial to the child? And I'm out of